The party throbbed with energy, music pounding through the walls, glasses chiming like tiny bells in a storm, laughter rising and breaking like waves. I hovered on the fringe, a silent presence trying to blend in, while inside I felt alien. Claire, my wife, commanded the room as always. She floated from cluster to cluster, her laughter spilling freely, her fingers grazing arms as if sketching herself into their notice. I tried to convince myself it was harmless, that I was imagining things, but the tightness in my chest hadn't eased all evening. When she eventually returned to me, cheeks flushed with champagne and admiration, she leaned in close. Her perfume pressed against me like a wall, once comforting, now suffocating. She tipped her lips toward mine, expecting the usual response, but for the first time since our vows, I turned away. "Not tonight," I said, voice steady yet cold enough to freeze her smile. Shock registered on her face, as though she'd rehearsed every reaction except this one. Claire wasn't used to being refused, especially by me. Her eyes narrowed, widened, scanning me like I had been replaced by a stranger. Then she smoothed her dress, forced a laugh slightly too loud, and carried on as if nothing had shifted. But I knew better. This had been simmering for years. Every gathering, every dinner, each weekend event had become a stage for her brilliance, while I lingered in the shadows, applauding quietly. It wasn't her attention I resented. It was the emptiness trailing us home. Conversations dwindled to clipped responses. Touch became mechanical. Intimacy reduced to routine. I stayed out of hope, convincing myself it was stress, a passing season, something temporary. But the signs were clear. The way her gaze lingered too long on certain men she called colleagues. The late-night texts face down. The careful distance she maintained when others watched. That night, amidst the clamor, the truth pierced through. Turning away wasn't cruelty, it was reclaiming myself. She continued weaving me into conversations, smiling, introducing me to friends as though nothing had cracked. Laughter rang out, glasses collided, yet my mind was elsewhere. She brushed my arm lightly, but I didn't lean in. The current that once pulled me toward her had vanished. At home, silence replaced music, heavier than any sound we'd left behind. She dropped her purse on the counter, shooting me a sharp look. "What was that back there?" Her voice was irritation, not concern. "You tell me," I said evenly, meeting her gaze without flinching. For the first time, she seemed unsteady. "You embarrassed me," she admitted. I almost laughed at the triviality. After all the fractures, the thing that cut her was the hint that someone might see through our facade. "Embarrassment isn't the problem, Claire. It's everything else," I said, and her jaw tightened. "You're overreacting. You're tired, stressed," she said. There it was, the dismissal, the minimization I had swallowed for years. This time, I refused to let it slide. "Do you even see me anymore?" I asked, voice firmer. "Outside the spotlight, outside the parties, when it's just us, do you see me?" Her silence spoke volumes. I had bent, excused, and held together a marriage she hadn't invested in for years. That night, I stopped excusing. Her mask slipped momentarily. "What do you want me to say, Michael? That things feel different? Fine, they do. Couples go through rough patches. It doesn't mean anything." Rough patch. That was her term for years of cold shoulders, ignored messages, her back turned while I lay awake, hoping for a touch. "It means something," I said quietly. "It means I've been waiting for you to choose me, and you haven't." For a fleeting instant, guilt shadowed her face, then she smothered it with denial. "You're imagining things," she said, though even her voice lacked certainty. "No, Claire," I replied. "I'm finally seeing it for what it is." The silence between us thickened, unbearable. I thought she might admit it, confess what I had long suspected, that I wasn't the only one receiving her devotion. Instead, she turned to rinse dishes that were already spotless. That was all the answer I needed. I slept in the guest room, staring at the ceiling with a strange mix of emptiness and relief. The betrayal wasn't a sudden affair or scandal. It was years of neglect, her choosing performance over the life we promised. By morning, my choice was clear. She came down, hair tied back, eyes glued to her phone. I didn't feign small talk. "Claire, this isn't working anymore." Her head snapped up, face pale. "You can't be serious." I never had been more serious. She opened her mouth, but no words emerged. Deep down, she knew. She had stopped choosing me long ago, and I had betrayed myself by waiting silently. Walking out, I felt no anger, only clarity. Sometimes betrayal isn't a thunderclap, a dramatic kiss, or public scandal. Sometimes it's the quiet erosion of love, grain by grain, until one night, amidst the music and the crowd, you finally turn away and say, "Not tonight."